Good morning, everyone, whoever you are. So, a quick catch up for me. You may have noticed that I removed Mary at Sea Level channel a few weeks ago, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry if you were using videos on there to help people, because I know a couple of them were helpful and people didn't know that information. But in the moment where I got a second strike on that channel, and I was feeling ultra paranoid already that night, Mars was opposing my Mercury. I got the email and I got instantly pissed off and just ultra paranoid and removed the whole channel and just thought, well, fuck it. No one really benefits from this information, so who cares? I'm just a babbling channel. But then I was asked by a Virgo, where is the video pointing out the mistakes in the lost history of Flat Earth? And I had to tell them I removed it and it's gone because I don't save anything. So I do feel bad that somebody very organized would be using that video to help people, and now I've removed it because I'm an emotional basket case. So I'm going to redo it because it is important, and I don't like to see people fleeced. I don't like to see people being tricked by someone who doesn't even know what they're talking about. So I'm going to quickly remake that video and show you guys what I am talking about. So when you hear Ewar in his 6-hour-long documentary, which is mainly going over other people's work that he's collected and compiled and put all together, you will hear him say, the tropics should be changed. Now, what he is talking about are the tropics, summer solstice, winter solstice. These tropics, Tropic of Capricorn and Tropic of Cancer, are also placed down here on Earth to help us mark seasons, and they have nothing to do with constellations at all, other than they share the same name. So these are 3 different systems. You can look up this on the internet and get this same diagram. I'll put the link in description. But I don't recommend this site because this site that I'm getting this diagram from goes over a lot of NASA bullshit. But the diagram itself is pretty easy to understand and correct. Okay, so all this is showing is the differences in the zodiacs to the constellations, the differences in sizes and where they are and why they don't line up. So this is the tropical zodiac, which we measure by putting 0 Aries right there on the left-hand side on the start of the cross over here on the vernal equinox around March 23rd, when the daylight and the evening hours are equal, otherwise known as the equinox. If we start the tropical zodiac there, we'll be able to go 30, 60, 90 to the Tropic of Cancer, the summer solstice, 30, 60, 90 to the equinox in the fall, the start of Libra, 30, 60, 90 to the start of Capricorn, the Tropic of Capricorn, 30, 60, 90 back to Aries. So this inner ring in this circle right here is the tropical zodiac. Now, is another system to measure signs. These are 12 signs of 30 degrees each, 360 degrees. So it's easy to use them for measuring things with simple math. And so is this middle ring. They start their zodiac with 0 Libra on Spica. So it's a fixed star over here that they will put 0 Libra at and then count their zodiac around. That's why it doesn't line up with the tropical zodiac, which is why you will hear most of the East Indian astrologers will tell you you're an Aquarius if you're Pisces in the tropical, in the Western, okay? So I'm trying not to be confusing, but this was already a big argument and 2 different systems that people were already confused by, the tropical and the sidereal. So the Western astrologers and the Eastern astrologers mainly use those 2 systems. But this system on the outside here is all different sizes. So Aries, very small constellation. Virgo, very huge. Looking quite pregnant here, Virgin. Cancer, small. Capricorn, large. So you see, these are not 30 degrees equal. They're all different sizes. And they have nothing to do with the tropics. The constellations, the stars, have nothing to do with the tropical zodiac. So by putting this tropical zodiac, by starting Aries at 0 Aries on the equinox, when the sun hits the equator and it's equal day and equal night, we can measure 30, 60, 90 to Cancer, 30, 60, 90 to Libra, like I mentioned, and always know when the start of each sign is and the start of each season based on the tropics that we have measured by putting Aries 0 at the equinox. So if we didn't do that, if we tried to use the constellations, one age, if you were using to count ages, one age, like for Virgo, would be really, really long, much longer than an Aries age. So do you see what I mean? When somebody says, the sun is on the Tropic of Capricorn today, happy winter solstice, they do not mean the constellation of Capricorn. They mean the tropical sign of Capricorn, which is measured by the tropics by putting 0 Aries at the equinox. Summer solstice, fall equinox, winter solstice, spring equinox. This cross is holy, holy astrology. And it also marks our body. This is a very intricate system. Aries, the head, Taurus, the neck and throat, Gemini, the voice and hands, Cancer, the chest and breast, Leo, the heart, Virgo, the stomach and intestines, Libra, where we cut in the middle and balance with our hips, Scorpio, genitals, Sagittarius, thighs, Capricorn, knees, Aquarius, shins, Pisces, feet. And what does any of this have to do with constellations? Nothing. None of the tropical zodiac has anything to do with the constellations. And people can't prove to me beyond a reasonable doubt that the tropical zodiac, that these systems in the middle of measured pieces were named after the constellations. It could have been the other way around. It could have been people with the tropical zodiac measuring this, and then one group of people looked up at the stars and said, oh, this one looks like Pisces, this one looks like Aries, this one looks like etc. So who knows what came first, the tropics or the constellations? It doesn't really matter. For this, it definitely doesn't matter. For Ewar's video and the point I'm trying to make, the only thing that matters is the tropical signs are not constellations. So the tropics should never be changed the names of, especially to a different sign. What are you even talking about? The tropical zodiac is not the constellations. So of course there's going to be the sun rising in whatever constellation when it's Aries, because they have nothing to do with each other. So I'm sorry, Ewar, please address this, because this is one of the main points of your video, and it makes it look like you just picked up a few astrology books, or not even, maybe just Googled some stuff, and then had one of those mind-blowing moments where instead of staying on the topic and researching more and figuring out these systems that you're trying to explain, you just jumped into how it worked for your theory that you already had. So you're just, what's it called? Cherry picking, picking pieces that look like it could fit. And it doesn't even fit. So when you look at this and just pick it apart, anything that anyone ever says, just research it more, ask more people that know about this kind of stuff. You will find that he is wrong, that the tropics have nothing to do with constellations. So when are we going to change the tropics, guys? When are we going to change the names of the tropics? Never. We never need to change the name of the tropics. It's an intricate system that's been around so long. It's on all of the old maps. And it's from tropical astrology. So if they want to change the names of the tropics, they, being the mainstream scientists, they should change them to something that have nothing to do with astrology, so that people won't read Capricorn and Cancer and get all confused, like astrology is real, like astrology has some kind of useful application. They should change the names completely if they don't want people looking into astrology at all. They should change them to the Tropics of Joe and Bob and be done with it. But that is why the system is here, this tropical system. We measure seasons, it's all the parts of the body, it is so many things. But the only thing that really matters for this video is this is the tropical zodiac, and it has nothing to do with constellations. So Ewar is wrong, and please, Ewar, say something if you're out there listening to this. Defend yourself. Now, another part that he goes over is this astronomical clock. Now, he's saying, why are these signs, these glyphs of these signs, small when these ones are big? And yes, why? I always wondered too. Why are the winter and fall signs, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, why are they all smaller, smaller little pieces on this circle? And these ones are big. What does it mean? Sorry about my camera focus. Well, as we can see here, the sun is in Capricorn. See the little sun guy on the Capricorn right there. And it's a very tiny little glyph of a sign. And then over here is Cancer, and it's really big. Now, I'm going to show you how the reason that these signs are smaller on this side are because it fits on the clock like that. So these little signs are always going to be spinning on the middle of this circle where the pieces are smaller. See? Little piece of pie, big piece of pie. Big signs are always going to be on the outside of the circle where these pieces are bigger. See, these pieces are bigger on the outside, and these pieces are smaller on the inside. And to show you what I mean, here's another one when the sun is in Cancer, the opposite. So now the sun is over here in the sign Cancer. That was really big glyph. And it's on the outside of the circle where the pieces are big. So this circle within the other circle is always going to spin, so the bigger signs are on the outside and the little signs are on the inside of the bigger circle. To show you again, and I do want to mention these signs here that you're seeing, those signs on this prog clock, these glyphs of signs, and these signs are the tropical signs. They're not the constellations. They're the tropical zodiac. They're not the sidereal zodiac. They're the tropical zodiac, these signs. And the reason I know is because look at on this clock, it says April, May, June. And the sun is here starting Cancer at the end of June on the summer solstice by the tropical zodiac. So you can see these little names here. They got April, May, June on the inside, a smaller part of the circle. And on the outside, bigger part of the circle, we have October, November, December. So this part of the ring in the inner circle is always going to be touching the bigger outer part of the circle so that they fit. These little pieces matter when it's a huge theory that you're trying to get people on board with for this bigger landmass on Earth and the sun is moving and blah, blah, blah. So I've easily picked it all apart. Yes, I was impressed at his video the first time I clicked because he's got great editing skills and that voice changer thing he's got is kind of mesmerizing. And I thought, hey, where did this guy come from? Wow, he sounds like he knows some stuff. But then I started to pick it apart. And I just encourage everyone to do that. Pick everything apart. It doesn't matter who these people are, how many people are saying they're amazing. Who cares? What are they actually saying? What message are they trying to get through? Go ahead and try to work on his theory with him. Go ahead. But I'm just pointing out simple things here that easily debunk what he's saying. And it shows that he doesn't really know the astrology systems at all, because tropical zodiac has nothing to do with constellations. So when will we change the name of the tropics? Never. We never need to change the name of the tropics. When people say the sun is in the Tropic of Capricorn, they do not mean the constellation. They never meant that. They meant it's on the Tropic of Capricorn. The Tropic of Capricorn is marked from making the spring equinox at 0 Aries. So, no. And these signs are, that you see here, these glyphs, they're marking the tropical zodiac. They're not marking the sidereal zodiac or the constellations. So when you see all these old clocks, I encourage you to look up different photos of them. So this has nothing to do with constellations either, or the sidereal zodiac. This is a measured Western zodiac right here, the tropical zodiac. These are tropical signs that have nothing to do with constellations. Yes. Anyways, I hope that this helps people. I mean, the people who were maybe looking it up more and stuff, keep looking and leave me a comment if you want. Let me know who you are and why you subbed here and how messy you think I am or how great you think this info is or shitty or whatever. I don't care. But just in case this channel gets removed because it's already on the second strike, you might want to download this and study it or look the things up that I talk about or something. So if you're confused about Ewar and you still think he's onto something, remember to also look up the Flat Earth Banjo Japan USA Brazil channel, where he shows how Ewar's theory about seeing Polaris doesn't fit either. And I would really like to for him to show us how this magnetic pole on Earth is somehow shifting with something that we can observe ourselves and prove. Because it sounds like NASA bullshit to me. Oh yeah, and I also saw FPV channel made a video going over Ewar and how things went down with them and him using their work and that kind of stuff. So yeah, looks like Ewar is gonna be gone soon.